So, today I'm lucky enough to be chatting with Dave Hemingway. You might know Dave and his dulcet tones from his time as part of the Housemartins, the Beautiful South, and the latter group, the South. So, his current project, Sunbirds, have just released their first album, Cool to Be Kind. Welcome to the show, Dave.
Hello, Paula. Thank you.
No worries. So, was singing something that you always wanted, always kind of did, or in school or anything like that?
Not at all. Not at all. Never crossed my mind really. I was a drummer, pure and simple, really.
Yeah.
But when I joined the Housemartins, everybody sort of sang in the Housemartins. It was obviously Paul was the main singer, but we used to do harmonies behind him and do like a cappella singing and stuff like that. So, but I never thought about being a singer at all. It was when the Beautiful South formed. Paul said, "Do you want to be in the new band?" And I assumed he meant as a drummer, but he meant just as a singer. So it was his idea, not mine.
Yeah. So how did you meet Paul initially? Was it through other members of the band, basically?
Well, Hull at the time was quite a big thriving music scene. Everybody seemed to be in a band, and obviously Paul was in the band that made it actually from Hull. Obviously the Housemartins were the band that broke through to make it, and so I'd seen him before, around and about. Never really met him till I sort of met him to talk about the Housemartins and joining them. So that's when we first met.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy how big the Beautiful South eventually became. I think it was said at one point that 1 in 10 households in the UK owns a copy of the Greatest Hits album.
Yeah, that did really well, the Greatest Hits, and yes, I agree. It was maybe a surprise how successful the band was. I mean, we never set out to be like play big stadiums or arenas or anything, but it ended up like that, which was a bit. Yeah, it was strange. We never really thought of ourselves as that type of band. We thought of ourselves more as the, trying to write good songs and play good songs, but not playing to massive audiences. But we ended up doing that.
Yeah, I mean, life on the road, I suppose, as the band grew and stuff, it must have been kind of crazy and maybe like grueling schedules and stuff. What was it like on the touring and stuff?
I can't really complain about it. It was good. I mean, we had a laugh, and as for grueling schedules, there was a lot of travelling.
Yeah.
And you sort of go to a lot of places, but you don't see anything except the hotel room because you're travelling all the time. But it wasn't hard because we were mates and having a good time, and it was a laugh, and it really wasn't like hard work or anything. It was worse jobs, and we travelled a lot, but we enjoyed it, and we enjoyed the gigs, and we were together like for 19 years, which is a long time for a band to be together in music, obviously, and we enjoyed every minute of it. Really, it was really good. So no complaints at all.
Yeah, no, as I said, I've been a fan since the sort of the Housemartins days, and obviously followed through the Beautiful South days, and it was obvious the band enjoyed what they were doing, the live shows and stuff.
Yeah, and not just the live shows, but like I say, we were good mates, and we had a laugh travelling to the shows. We played doing daft things and playing stupid games, but and all sorts of things. So it was just fun. It was great, and a great time of my life, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, talking about afterwards, I know you released your album Hello Cruel World, your solo album. So, I mean, I really loved that. Was songwriting always kind of come naturally, or is it something you've
I've
tinkered
never
with?
sort of classed myself as a songwriter. I'm more of an arranger than anything else. But I'd like to think, I can spot a good song. And that solo album didn't really work out. It was never really officially released by anybody. It was just, I sort of tried that. I think I was always more comfortable in a band environment with other people rather than being on my own, because I'm not that sort of type really to do that. And I was always more willing to get back into a band situation, and that's what I've done, So as I said, the songs on the new album are really good, I think, and I can spot a good song. Hopefully that's one thing I can do, and just help to develop the song. as it goes along.
Yeah. So after the Beautiful South, the South was formed, and I think I met you. I think it was like the Rope Tackle in Shoreham before that gig. So how did that come about? Was it just a few of you got together and said, "Look, we should try this"?
Well, it was Dave Stead, the drummer of the Beautiful South. It was his idea, really. He originally he just rang me and said, "Would you be up for doing it?" And I said, "Well, if Paul's okay with it, then yeah." And then he assured me that he was. So we did that, and obviously the South were playing basically Beautiful South songs, which is fair enough. We did one original album of original songs, which I thought was okay. And but after that, I think the rest of the band were just happy to keep playing the older songs. And for me, I thought I still had an album in me, at least one album of new songs. You know, I didn't want to just keep playing the old songs, however good they are, and they are good songs, great songs, of course. But I just didn't want to settle with just playing the old songs. I felt I could still do some new ones.
Yeah, and obviously the fan base has kind of followed you. You know, music fans as a rule are very, very loyal.
Yeah, they are. They're fantastic and fantastic fan base, and they're always willing to listen to us and come and see us. Yeah, and I can't praise them highly enough, really.
Yeah, so I mean, who have been your own sort of musical influences over the years? What music has floated your boat personally?
Well, originally it was the Beatles from an early age, but as I got on in the sort of 70s, people like The Jam, Paul Weller, Elvis Costello, that sort of all new wave type bands, all writing good songs. You know, I've always been a fan of the good songs, and they were all great songwriters and produced some great records and great songs. So them sort of people I always looked up to.
So Sunbirds, we have to talk about your fantastic brand new band, Sunbirds. So how did the four of you meet initially?
Well, Phil Barton's the guitarist in the South, and still is. But and then he's a songwriter. And after I left the band, the South, I was sort of doing nothing in particular for a couple of years. I was looking for a next project, really, or a next musical direction. And Phil came with his songs, and we did some demos, just acoustic guitar and vocals, and I thought these songs are really good. So it was sort of what I'd been looking for, and so we got together with Mark, the drummer, and Laura playing violin, and eventually becoming a singer as well. And we developed the songs, and over 2 years, it's taken us 2 years to get to this stage of the finished album. But so it's been a long time, a bit of a labour of love. We've got there in the end, and it came out on the 27th of November, and it was a relief to it's finally got there, and proud, really, that we managed to get the album out, because it was self-financed, and we had to do everything ourselves. We don't have a record company behind us.
Yeah.
So it was, it took a lot of hard work to get it out there, but we're proud of it, and we hope people can get it and have a listen to the songs and see what they think.
Yeah, Laura's got an amazing voice, though, hasn't she? And it really blends well with your own.
Yeah, and I don't think she was aware of that. You know, we got together really as for a violin playing course, and it was like a happy accident that we sort of said, well, try this and try that singing wise, and I don't think she had much confidence in her own singing, and didn't realise what a good singer she is, and that's really been a real bonus for us to find out that she's a great singer, and we hopefully work well together.
Yeah. So does everyone kind of bring their own part to the group? Is it kind of a four-way split kind of thing?
Of course, yeah. Obviously, once the song's written,
the
basic songs are there, but yeah, everyone brings something to the party, really. Ideas and arrangements, all sorts like that. It's very much a band situation. It's not just no one's a leader of the band. We are a band, and I think it's important that we all contribute something, and we can all do that.
Yeah, so your first single was released recently, "Meet You on the North Side." It's doing amazing things at the moment. So, what is there a story behind the song?
Well, that one, "Meet You on the North Side," me and Phil wrote that one. It's about basically me growing up as a kid in Hull, and the Hull that I grew up in, with the big fishing industry and the trawlers and the trawlermen and all the pubs and how it all worked, and that's all sort of mentioned in the song, and so that particular song's about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and the video is really nice as well. The whole black and white feel to the video.
Well, black and white hides the wrinkles, you see.
It makes you look wistful. You know, you're kind of looking wistful as you.
Oh, I am wistful. I'm very wistful.
So are there plans to tour? I mean, I know at the moment it must be a really weird time to release an album, you know, in the current climate.
Yeah, obviously, in normal situations, we planned to release the album towards the end of this year, which has happened.
Yeah.
But we also planned to be playing gigs to, play the songs live and up and down the country, and we haven't been able to do that. So we're looking, fingers crossed, maybe if things get moving again, say spring next year. As soon as first chance we get, we'll organise some gigs and get out and about. And I'm confident that people will be desperate to get back to see live bands again, and not just ourselves, but any bands, because everybody's been suffering in terms of not being able to play. And I think people want to go to concerts again and get out and try and enjoy themselves, because this year's been so tough in so many ways.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's sooner we can get out and about and up and down the country and visiting places and playing live. And because we've never done a live gig as Sunburn, so the next gig will be our first gig. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely seem to be in your element when you're on stage.
I'm a good actor then.
So, I mean, your singing voice, you know, I think I said to you once, it was a bit embarrassing. I saw you in you played Dublin Olympia one time, and I saw you were in the laneway at the side, and I think I just said, "Oh, I really love your voice," and you were like, "Oh, thank you," and you know, but it's just.
Well, thank you again.
I know. I definitely put you in my top 10 of all time, Dave. You know, you've just got one of those voices. Do you know what I mean? It's just you could sing the phone directory.
Thanks. I mean, as I say, I've never considered myself a singer or particularly good or anything. I just do what I can, and I've never thought about that so much. But I do appreciate it when saying that, and anybody who thinks that's very kind.
Yeah, so I mean, is the album going to get a general release? I know, obviously, we're saying it's out through Nectar at the moment. Is it only available online, or is it going to be available in shops?
It's on the usual outlets now. Amazon, Spotify. We have got a distribution deal for it, so it's it's out in the usual ways, not just ordering online. But if you go to sunbirds.co.uk, that'll give all the details about it. But no, it is officially out properly. So I can say hopefully people will get all of it and have a listen to the songs and see what they think.
Yeah, I mean, how would you describe your style for anybody that's not been lucky enough to hear the album so far? How would you describe yourselves?
Well, there's a few sort of country and western type feel songs on there, obviously with lyrics pertaining to England rather than America.
Yeah.
But also there's pop songs on there, some songs what maybe used to be called new wave, and I like to think we've got a few diverse musical feels on the album, musical genres, and hopefully something everyone can listen to, and hopefully like at least one of them.
Yeah, I mean, when you listen to Beautiful South songs, you're on kind of like pretty much every track that Beautiful South released. I was watching the 36D video the other day, and I was like, God, Dave's got a good pair of legs.
Yeah, I was really pleased with my legs in that, to be honest. I quite enjoyed the dressing up, so I don't know if that's worrying or not, but I sort of did, yeah. And I thought my legs looked all right for for a little bloke.
But you did look good. And even, you make a good woman, Dave.
Thanks very much. I've been told that a lot.
You've been told it a lot.
Yeah. Which is, again, is a bit worrying, but never mind.
Oh, you never know. There could be another career path for you. But
yeah, you never know. I never say never.
Indeed. Yeah, you did a lot of dressing up, though. When you look at all the videos from the...
Yeah. I used to like it. I used to really like making videos. They were a really good part of being in the band. We used to have a laugh making those videos, and it was always pretty good.
Yeah. Do you see yourself making more videos for the, obviously not wearing tights and stuff, but you never know.
Don't rule out the tights. Don't rule out the tights. But, yeah, of course. But I don't know how it works these days. Yeah, I mean, we'd love to make videos for every song we do, so we'll see what happens. Yeah, that could happen.
Yeah, it's uncharted territory, isn't it, at the moment? What we kind of thought could be happening. Yeah. Everyone's rescheduling gigs now for the spring this year, and it's all...
Yeah, I realise a lot of bands and people have been doing gigs from home, Zoom and all that, and we thought about doing that, but I didn't really think it was our sort of thing to do that. I mean, I know it's obvious to say, but playing a proper gig in front of a proper audience is much better, I think. And we never really did the video Zoom thing, unfortunately.
It must be so hard, though. Even these people that are doing the online gigs, you're not getting the audience interaction that you would have at a gig. You finish the song, and normally there's a big cheer goes up or round of applause and stuff, and there's nothing. So it's kind of
as I say,
weird.
We did consider doing it, but it never really appealed to me to do that. I think, I think we'd rather ride out the storm really and wait till the gig venues are there again and we can play proper gigs. And as I say, hopefully that will be sort of next spring at the earliest. And who knows? We don't know what's happening from day to day, do we? And nobody knows at the moment, so we'll see.
Yeah, no, I'm just so glad that you're releasing music again. Is there anything that you're listening to at the moment? Are you a music listener? Is there anything you're kind of listening to at the moment?
I'm a music lover for sure, and I can't say I'm really up on other people that are younger bands at the moment, but I know that I listen to everything, and I just love music, any sort of style of music, and there are a lot of good people out there at the moment, good bands and everything, and I listen to them and I appreciate them, and there's not a lot I don't like really in terms of music, because I tend to listen to all sorts or all types of music, and I think that's a good thing because it can give you ideas of what you want to do musically yourself. So yeah.
It must be so hard for these new bands that have all these plans of touring and stuff this year and releasing albums, and it's just, that's the thing, for new bands that are just starting, it's an awful time.
Yeah, I agree. It's terrible. We started when it was a good time to be in a band. Things seem to happen in the right way. If you got a deal, you got records out, and people bought them in a normal fashion, and people went to gigs. Now, I don't know how the young bands coming into it, how they cope really, because it seems a lot more difficult. And I totally agree with you. It's not as good as it used to be when we were a young band. Yeah.
I mean, that was the thing. Even going to see yourselves as the South, it was the same. It was kind of almost felt the same as going to a Beautiful South gig with yourself and Alison, obviously, and the guys.
Well, that was the idea. Really. We wanted to make it best we could, and it was great. And I don't want to knock the fact that we played Beautiful South songs at all, because the South is still going and still great, and I wish them nothing but success. But me personally, I just felt I had an album or 2 or 3 worth of new songs in me, and I still think that's the case. I mean, I don't see Sunbirds as a one-off sort of experiment. I see it as a proper band, and we're looking to do more records and to do more gigs, and to it's like the start of something, not the end of it, so we're looking forward to doing all that.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose you have to grow as well. You can't really keep yourself tied to a period.
Yeah, I suppose it would be easy to sort of rest on your laurels, if you want to call it that, but I don't want to do that just yet.
We definitely don't want you to, Dave. As I said, the album is doing amazing things at the moment, and the single, obviously, "Meet You on the North Side," is doing amazing things as well. So thank you so much for chatting with me today, Dave. It's been
Thank you, Paul. No,
absolute pleasure.
My pleasure. Absolutely. Thank you.
Cool. So the Sunbirds' new album, "Cool to Be Kind," is out now in all good record shops and online. Get yourself a copy, and they also make great Christmas presents too.
They certainly do.
We're going
Get
for
it in your stocking.
We're going for the Christmas market. We're going for the Christmas market. We're going for